This video is based on a series of articles that were originally published on Game Tyrant. If you'd like to see the original articles, be sure to check out the links below. The EVO Series.
With EVO right around the corner, I thought now would be as good a time as ever to talk about EVO, the video game series. Okay, I know, a little bit of a goof, but in all seriousness, this is a video I've been meaning to make for a while. So as a youth, I loved the games of Enix. This is before the Square-Enix merger happened, so that would be Enix, not Square-Enix. And I did like Square, so don't send me hate mail. Yet. Yeah, I loved all the Enix games. Dragon Quest, ActRaiser, Soul Blazer, Brainlord, Seventh Saga. And, you know, I'll budge. If we're gonna get into 100% semantics, Enix was, in practice, a publishing house, not a game development studio. At least not in the strictest sense. Some other games shared composers, like the Dragon Quest guy. Brainlord and Seventh Saga had the same director, but their games were only loosely related. Still, I felt they knew how to pick them. If we put their games into perspective, we see some recurring themes here. High fantasy, science fiction on a big scale, and an exploration of deities and godhood that gave their games a big, epic, regal feeling. Let's have ourselves a rundown of the EVO duology. The first game in the series, popularly fan-titled EVO: The Theory of Evolution, is generally unknown unless you're a Japanese PC gaming nerd, or you're an obsessive weirdo, like me. The second game, EVO: Search for Eden, is a cult title for the Super NES.
EVO: The Theory of Evolution was developed by Almanic Corp and was released by Enix in 1990 for the PC 9801. To the rest of the world, this is an obscure game for an obscure gaming computer. EVO: The Theory of Evolution is an RPG where you play as a creature who is chosen by Gaia, the spirit of the earth, to be a champion in the fight against Lucifer, who appears as a gigantic nude Marilyn Monroe for some reason. Starting off as a fish in a water world, our protagonist changes his base form as he endures many different time periods, millions, sometimes even billions of years apart. The story is divided into 6 eras: the world before land, early creatures of land, the age of the dinosaurs, end of the dinosaurs, early mammals, and a utopian future where humans evolved to the point where they have developed psychic powers.
The story has both creationist and anthropological angles, but don't think you're getting preached at or getting a science lesson. The game, while it gives the player plenty to ponder about, it primarily exists for entertainment value. Yes, there's all kinds of dinosaurs and proto-humans, but there's also impossible fantasy creatures, magic powers, and moonmen. The combat is both remarkably simple and undeniably primitive. The battles remind me of Dragon Quest's earlier days, but even simpler. Your character doesn't have equipment, armor, or potions, things you'd expect from the genre. Rather, you have to keep your DNA well balanced and in check on an algebraic grid. You use EVO points, your experience points, gained from battles, to raise your 4 stats: strength, resistance, stamina, and intelligence. You're going to be frequently tweaking them, as there's no one-size-fits-all solution for your stats.
Really, if we're going to be pedantic here, the changes your character goes through are metamorphosis, not evolution.
Yeah, that is true. Like my anthropology teacher said, metamorphosis is not evolution. Living creatures are not Pokemon. That's exactly how she pronounced it. Thing is, there's a certain evolutionary path that's required to beat each chapter, and consequently the game. If you don't follow the path the game expects of you, the game's 6 bad endings on you. Like an attack dog. This can be obnoxious, because at that point I go, no, and have to scroll through all that dialogue again. But I will admit that some of them are pretty funny, like the one when you're transformed into Dragon Quest slime. Others, like the one when you get eaten alive, oh, that makes me sick to my stomach.
In a corner of your failing consciousness, you dully begin to comprehend your own death. It is a strangely calming thought, and your fear dissipates. They eat me, I survive. I eat them, they survive. It isn't that different.
Oh no! Ew! Did Stephen King write this game? Even with its epic scope, and yes, the game is truly epic, it takes place over billions of years, it's about macroevolution on a macro scale, it involves a deity and a devil, it's about transhumanism, the game is truly epic. Yes, in spite of all that, there is a low-key quaintness to the Shinka run. The eras tend to end in an understated fashion. Taking place in a perfect society of transhumans who have opened up their third eye with their psychic powers, the final chapter is downbeat, save for the final confrontation with Lucifer. You both become giants and duel in space. She destroys your body, but then you're rebuilt by Gaia, using the life force of every single creature that has ever lived. Evolution stops, humanity becomes one, and departs Earth for good.